you a yes man, putting with the gangster lean. It's about that time, homeboy. I keep the sky high, y la rola está bien machine. That's how I do it cuando entro fuego. Now it's time to get this party cracking. It's time to let them know what's happening. It's about time I stepped in with the gangster lean. No cheap talk and I get what I want.
Hey guys, this video, as you can see from the title, is going to be my thoughts on why I think Kurt Angle should have been the wrestler of the decade compared to Triple H, who got the award. In my opinion, I think that the Wrestling Observer, PWI Insider, gave it to Triple H for business reasons. You know, Triple H is more of the marketing kind of wrestler rather than Kurt Angle, who's in TNA, who's the second-rate company. And I guess when you think about it, you see a DX fan, which is a majority of wrestling fans, who watch the WWE PG-13 era. They walk down the convenience store and they see Triple H on a magazine. Obviously, they're going to pick that up rather than seeing one with Kurt Angle on it. And I think that is one of the main reasons that Triple H did get it, is just strictly business aspect, not the whole wrestling thing. So this is why I think that Kurt Angle should have won. But like, when you think about it, when you compare Angle and Triple H, they've always been head-to-head when it comes to their feuds and when it comes to like what they're doing in the wrestling, in their storylines pretty much. You know, you can start off like 2000, I have to give it to Triple H, because Triple H was on top of the world. It was he was on the peak of his career. He was, you know, he was running things in the WWE. He had the whole WrestleMania 2000 was the Fatal 4-Way match where each McMahon got their own representative. Triple H was representing Stephanie, and he did win that match. So, you know, you're in the main event of WrestleMania and you win. You go in as champion and you walk out as champion. It's, you know, it's something to, you know, look back on. And while Kurt Angle was in a mid-card match, it was not a bad match because he had the triple threat with Jericho and Benoit. So, you know, the matches were equally good, but the fact that Triple H was in the main event, you have to give 2000 to Triple H. But the thing I don't understand is, since 2000 to 2009, how many 5-star matches has Triple H really had that you can look back on and say, I remember that match with Triple H, it was amazing. You know, to me, the ones that come off the top of my head easiest is his matches with Cactus Jack, his match with Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Benoit, and I can't really think of many more other than that. But when you think of Kurt Angle, you got so many more to like choose from. You have Edge, Chris Benoit, Jericho, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker even. I know Triple H had a match with The Undertaker too at WrestleMania, but I just feel that Angle's feud with The Undertaker just this past couple years ago was just more memorable than Triple H's was. But after 2004, I think, is where things really started to go downhill for Triple H and pretty much go uphill for Kurt Angle, because after 2004, Triple H, you know, he pretty much did nothing. It was just, his main years were 2000 to 2004, where he had his feuds with The Rock and with Mick Foley and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And after 2004, you know, what has Triple H really done? You know, he got injured and he comes back, he wins the title. That was before 2004, but he comes back from his second injury, which was in 2006, but he faced Snitsky, Umaga, who else did he have a feud with? Snitsky, Umaga, Carlito he had a thing with, the Spirit Squad, Edge, Vladimir Kozlov, Great Khali, you know, just, I said Edge already, yeah, and the McMahons and Big Show, and Chris Jericho, which you're going on to now. But just, you know, you look at the match qualities from back then, and you look at the match quality now, it's really gone downhill, and I'm sure everyone's noticed that. While Kurt Angle, he's had amazing matches with Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Edge, all back before 2004, and Brock Lesnar, all before 2004. And now that you go, you know, after 2004, Angle stayed consistent through the whole entire decade, because after 2004, Angle had a 5-star match with Shawn Michaels. Then he went to TNA. He had an amazing match with Samoa Joe, just kicking off his whole career there. And not to mention that he won every single title in TNA, while Triple H has only managed to win the tag titles, the World Heavyweight title. What else did he win before then? An Intercontinental title. You know, just comparing, I don't know, it's kind of hard to think how Triple H could have got it. Not saying that he wasn't a hard worker. You know, Triple H is one of the best wrestlers in the business, but like, I think that this award really should have gone to Kurt Angle just because of the fair consistency that Angle's had throughout the decade, while Triple H was amazing up until 2004. And after that, it just pretty much went downhill from there. And now I just kind of wanted to do like a WrestleMania rundown. You pretty much go through every single WrestleMania from, WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania 16, to 2009, WrestleMania 25, and what each guy had to do in there. And that pretty much, in my opinion, determines who should have been Wrestler of the Decade. Because in business terms, I took business for a couple of years, 3 years. A fiscal year is a company's full year. You know, to us, our new year is December 31st is the last day, and January 1st is the first day. But in business terms, a fiscal year can come any day of the year, and it's just on their biggest day of the whole year. That's when the year ends, and the next day, the Raw after WrestleMania, would be their new year. So at the end of the WWE's fiscal year, who was on top, Triple H or Kurt Angle? WrestleMania 16, WrestleMania 2000, you'd have to give it to Triple H because of the whole the Fatal 4-Way match. Triple H came out on top, and then Kurt Angle was still mid-card status at the time. WrestleMania 17, what happened? Triple H versus Undertaker, while Kurt Angle faced Jericho or Benoit, one or the other. But 5-star matches from Kurt Angle. Triple H had another amazing match, but I'd have to give that to Kurt Angle just because it was a wrestling clinic. It was an amazing match at WrestleMania 17, so I'd have to give WrestleMania 17 to Kurt Angle. WrestleMania 18, Triple H won the Royal Rumble when he came back from his injury. But even before that, the Invasion angle happened in between that time, and Kurt Angle was the centerpiece of that Invasion angle, while Triple H was on the sidelines. Angle's being involved in one of the biggest friggin' storylines in WWE history, so that kind of shifts the whole thing there. But even though Triple H came back, he won the title at WrestleMania 18. Let's see how much time I got. Yeah, so Triple H won the title at WrestleMania 18, and Kurt Angle was facing Kane, which is, I don't know, whatever. That's Triple H, obviously. WrestleMania 19, same situation. Kurt Angle goes in as champion, Triple H goes in as champion. Angle has an amazing match with Brock Lesnar, which will be remembered for years just because of Brock Lesnar's shooting star press. Angle wrestled with a broken neck, while Triple H had a match with Booker T, and he won. But I think more people will be looking back on Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, so I'd give that to Kurt Angle. WrestleMania 20, same situation again. Kurt Angle's going in as the challenger, while Triple H is going in as the champion. Both matches were equally good. The triple threat match versus Angle and Guerrero, so I'd give that a tie. WrestleMania 21 is, you know, no argument at all. Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels stole the show. One of the best matches in WWE history. And then WrestleMania 22, just another blur of a pay-per-view, another weird WrestleMania. The triple threat match where Ray won versus John Cena and Triple H. I'd give them both a tie because both weren't really too memorable. And then 23, both are absent. Kurt Angle goes to TNA. So you can see right there, it's been really a tie or one guy's been on top. But I think just the fact that Angle went to TNA and he carried their ass for 3 years straight, 7, 8, 9, yeah, 2-3 years, it just speaks for itself. Angle's put so many guys over, he's made so many guys look good in TNA. He's brought TNA to new heights where I think they couldn't have gone if it wasn't for him. And yeah, that's why I think Kurt Angle should be Wrestler of the Decade. So leave your thoughts. I know there's a lot of people who are going to agree with me. There's probably going to be some who disagree, but leave your thoughts. Maybe leave a video response, whatever you got to do.